Okay, well, we're going to try this. The removal and replacement of a starter on my 2009, because it may be different on other JKs, 2009 JKU. Alright, so we've got a 15 millimeter bolt right up back in here. We have a 16 millimeter bolt right here. We have a wire push on. It doesn't clip, it just pulls on and off, and then a 13 millimeter right here. And before I even came down here and started this, I disconnected the battery for all you safety conscious people. So with a very long extension, a swivel, and a 15 millimeter socket, I'm able to get up in here. As you can see, there's supposed to be another bolt right here, so there's supposed to be 3. Well, not on mine. There's only 2. So get up in here, and you need to disconnect that bolt up on top. So we'll get that one out first, and then I'll disconnect the wires, and then I'll take the bottom one out, and we'll be able to get her out of there. Well, there is some hoses and some other stuff that's in the way up here, but it's not that big of a drama. See, relatively small bolt on top, 15 millimeter. Let's pop this plug off. Like I said, it just wiggles off just like that. Alright, get that out of the way. That wire is awfully hardened, so that may be required to be replaced fairly soon. So 13 millimeter on this one right here. Simple, not on there very tight. Like I said, the last thing you want to do is ground anything out, because this wire I'm taking off is a direct positive. So that's why I disconnected the battery. Get that up and out of the way. It has a washer on it that did fall right in where I wasn't going to lose it, so that's a bonus. So then we got a 16 millimeter right here. And as you can see, it's already loose. And this one, why in the hell it's 6 inches frickin' long, who knows? That's a little ridiculous. So since there's 2 things missing, I would say prior to me buying this vehicle, someone replaced the starter, because there's supposed to be a heat shield right that's attached to here, which this bolt right here and this bolt right here hold the heat shield on. So I guess they decided that the heat shield wasn't necessary, and neither was the other bolt. So probably sitting right next to this catalytic converter, I may want to get some kind of a heat shield back on there. It's probably why I'm replacing a starter. So there you have it. And not so difficult so far. Only because there's 2 bolts and no shielding. Because the shielding kind of gets in your way when you're trying to get the bolts out. You got to peel it back and try not to destroy it. So I'm pretty sure when they took it off, they probably destroyed it and just didn't put it back on. So, all right, that's that, and I'll be right back. All right, you may have seen prior to me turning the camera off there was a shim right here. So just be aware of that. I'm sure that has to go back in there so that the starter will be the correct distance away from the flywheel and engage properly. Now it's just put it back together. So that one. This one in up here. It's actually nice that somebody worked on this prior to me. It made everything come off easier. So let me tighten those up and I'll be right back. Alright, so just finishing up tightening the bottom one. Top one's nice and snug. And we just got that top push on plug, 13 millimeter, and the battery back on. There's not a whole lot of room down here to work, so it's a good thing that Jake is lifted, because I don't have to worry about putting him up on jack stands or anything like that, because he's high enough. Alright, so that's on. We can slide this baby back on, back here somewhere, just like that, and take the new screw and the new nut and washer off. Slide that on, put that back over the top of there. There's also not a whole lot of places to put my light, put the camera, so I had all that to fight with. We've got an extra little plug here that doesn't do anything, doesn't go anywhere, so I think I was going to take that off. Does not connected to anything. Obviously this starter works on a number of different vehicles. So, and I'm sure that if I go the right direction, I'll get this tight eventually. It doesn't have to be overly tight because it's got a lock washer on it and it's a brass bolt, so you don't want to strip it out. That's it, folks. For me, that's it. I mean, everybody else might have to deal with another bolt and some other additional heat shielding, but hey, not me. So all good. I do need to get some heat shielding though, because I got a feeling that that's why this starter started to go bad, because of this lack of heat shielding, because this sucker right here gets hot, bad hot. I'm sure if I look up in there, I've already replaced, since I'm down here, I've already replaced the exhaust manifold once, and I have an exhaust leak, so I think it may be cracked again. There's a very common, it's got heat shield on the top, and that's where it usually covers. The crack is on the top, so eventually I'm gonna have to take that off and check that. So, but that's it for the starter. All right, we'll see you on the next one.